Cocoa Processing Company of Ghana is unable to produce up to capacity largely because of lack of cocoa beans. And I was lamenting over the paradoxical situation where the second largest producer of cocoa is unable to deliver beans for processing in its own country. Mr. Speaker, this comes to cocoa production. And honorable members who earlier on contributed alluded to the need for us to look at how we can increase cocoa production. Mr. Speaker, the first point raised by one of our colleagues from the other side had to do with the producer price of cocoa. His view was that we should give the cocoa farmers competitive prices to motivate them to produce more cocoa so that we can have enough to feed our processing factories. I agree perfectly with our colleague, and this is some of the issues we have raised over the years. Mr. Speaker, at any point in time, the cocoa farmer must be given not less than 60% of the world market price. And you recall that I have stated this here more than 1 million times, especially when we realize that in the past years, especially last year, cocoa farmers were being given 30% of the FOB price. We spoke against that. We spoke against that and stated categorically that given the opportunity, we will ensure that farmers are given more than 60% of the world market price. And Mr. Speaker, the former Western Regional Minister, Regional Minister,
please. Oh, honorable member, please don't say that. Withdraw that, please.
And Mr. Speaker, the former Western Regional Minister indicated to me that Eric Opoku, you have the opportunity now, increase the producer price. That was what he told me. And I said, Honorable, I will respond to that. Mr. Speaker, my response is this. We are fully determined to give cocoa farmers more than 60%. We want to give them 70%. But they know they have set a trap for us. The trap is that in their handing over notes, they indicated that the cocoa board owes their creditors an amount of 27 billion Ghana cedis. And that 5.37 billion cedis is due for payment this year. Mr. Speaker, what that means is that this year, if you get the money, set aside 5.37 billion to pay for the debt before you proceed to determine the producer price of cocoa. That is what they have bequeathed to us. And so it is surprising. It is surprising that after creating this mess, you have the courage to mount pressure on us to increase producer price today, while at the same time you are urging us to go and pay debt. Mr. Speaker, I am making a contribution to statements, but because he invited me to respond to that, I decided to seize this opportunity to let them know that if Ghanaian cocoa farmers are unable to get the 70% they deserve, it is because of their huge debt that they have given to us. They have created it. Then again, Mr. Speaker, they talk about, one of them raised the issue about produce buying company. And I remember you said, when it gets to my turn, I shall respond to that.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, yes, the produce buying company, as we speak, is on its knees. It is completely dead. And we have to do a lot of things to bring it back to life. In 2016, when we handed over to them, it was prosperous and vibrant. In 2015, PBC made profit, and part of the profits was invested in the rehabilitation of golden beans in Kumasi. Assafuah, you know, golden beans. To rehabilitate that. Mr. Speaker, within the last 8 years, PBC has been reduced to nothing, to the extent that in the past 2 years, they were unable to buy 1 bag of cocoa for this nation. PBC was the largest purchaser of cocoa in Ghana in 2016. They purchased 30.1%.
Honorable, I thought you would just explain without
Yes, I'm
actually
responding to
moving into politics. It's like we're debating now. It's like we're debating now.
Mr. Speaker, I was just responding to the issues raised by our colleagues, and then also profess solutions to solve the very challenges we are lamenting over.
Let me hear Honorable Member for Damango.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what is before us this afternoon is a statement. A statement has been made about St. Valentine's Day and chocolate. Mr. Speaker, it is pursuant to this statement which has resulted in members contributing to the statement. Mr. Speaker, our standing orders are very clear on this matter. The standing orders is very clear that a statement should not elicit a debate, and contribution to debate, contribution to statement should also not elicit debate. Mr. Speaker, what the Honorable Minister has been doing is really raising very contentious issues. And so, Mr. Speaker, we will respectfully call upon you to have the minister be guided and not make comments which will elicit a debate. There will be an opportunity for that, and we'll be ready to have the debate with them. So, Mr. Speaker, let me be guided.
Thank you very much. In actual fact, I decided to ask him to sit down, listen to all the comments, because most of the comments were directed towards his ministry, so that he can also try to address some of them. But please, whilst addressing them, just be guided not to actually move into it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these are issues, as you rightly said, raised by our colleagues. And there's the need for us to indicate to them measures we are putting in place to address them. But for them to have a better appreciation of the measures, they must know the true state now, so that they will all agree that these measures are good measures to address them. Mr. Speaker, somebody also spoke about cocoa roast. This is a serious matter that we are looking at. Cocoa roast. The argument advanced was that to be able to increase cocoa production, we have to fix all the roads leading to cocoa growing areas. This is a statement made by one of our colleagues from the other side. Mr. Speaker, you recall that in 2017, when the MPP assumed office, one of the issues that became topical in our country here and was discussed extensively throughout all the media outlets had to do with cocoa roast. Because at that time, we had awarded contracts amounting to 5.1 billion Ghana cedis. And based on this, a committee was established to audit all cocoa roast in Ghana here, to ascertain whether there was value for money in the award of those contracts. Mr. Speaker, it will surprise you to note that in the handing over notes, we are told that cocoa roast awarded in the last 8 years amounted to 21 billion Ghana cedis. And Mr. Speaker, government is recommending that we do what they call rationalization. And when we asked them during the transition, their explanation was that by rationalization, they are saying that we should terminate, we should repackage, and then re-award. Mr. Speaker, the problem on our hand today is that we have over-awarded the contracts, and Cocoa Board does not have the capacity to pay. So now they are asking us in the handing over notes to do rationalization. And then rationalization has begun. So very soon, some of these contracts will be re-looked at and then terminated to ensure that we make progress in the field of cocoa roast. But the assurance we are giving to members is that we will sanitize the process and ensure that roasts in cocoa growing areas alone are fixed with monies from cocoa.
Thank you.
Then the last point that I have to respond to has to do with cocoa production. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, you recall that one of our colleagues made mention of cocoa production, which has increased to 6,000 something. I was asking whether he's speaking from a different world or what. I was wondering whether he knows what he's talking about. Cocoa production increasing. Mr. Speaker, cocoa production peaked in 2021 at 1,047,000 tons. Unprecedented in the history of Ghana. 1,047,000 tons. But as we speak, it's around 500,000 tons. 500,000 tons. The lowest in the past 2 decades was recorded in 2024. And so what we have to do now is to come out with policies that will ensure rejuvenation of the cocoa sector, to reset the entire cocoa sector, increase cocoa production so that we can maximize the benefits for our cocoa farmers. And so, Mr. Speaker, we thank you very much for the opportunity. This is a great day. It's a day that we have to show love.
Thank you.
Chocolates have been distributed to members, and our expectation is that members will also share the chocolate we have given them to their wives, their children, their constituents, and then all the other things that they can talk about. On this note,
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable